Hello everyone, it's Max Edits here, and I'm going to be making a video that would usually be off my topic, like gaming-wise, but I see this as a common issue with people when wanting to get a computer. One thing is building a gaming computer. Basically, people don't have an idea of what to do, so I'm basically going to help you out. Now, there's a few websites you can use. You can use eBay, Amazon, Tiger Direct, all kinds of websites. I mean, I personally bought my computer off Newegg.com. Now, what you're going to want to do is go into the computer hardware section and find your parts. Now, commonly, the necessities for a computer are going to be a case, a CPU. You're going to need a hard drive, a video card, unless it's built into your motherboard, which you're going to need. And what am I forgetting? I think that's it. And then you're also going to need a CD burner, or drive, that is, because you're going to need to get a OS on your system, and without a drive, you're not going to be able to get an OS. But you can get a really cheap drive there, $16. But another problem is usually budget. So, but under computer cases, what I'd recommend for a cheap but quality case, this is the one I got. I'm gonna find it for you guys. Give me a second. All right, it's $60. It's the Cooler Master Half 912 case. It looks like this. I'll show it to you in a bigger little screen. This is the case that I currently have. It's a really nice case. The inside is gigantic. It can hold a lot. Dual video cards. If you want SLI, it's got the tubes in the back here for water cooling. You know, anything. So I'd highly recommend this. Alright, so I'm gonna just build a little wish list here. Then you're gonna want to go to motherboards. And now what you're gonna want to pick out is, first off, you want to go with AMD or Intel, because certain motherboards only work with certain kinds of CPUs, obviously. So with this build, I'm gonna go with the Intel CPU. If you're gonna buy AMD, you're gonna want to do the steps I'm about to do, but with AMD instead of Intel. So for a budget, I'd look for up to like $140. So let's see here. AS Rock is a good company. I mean, I don't know. You can do whatever you want. I'm gonna go with we'll go with this one, I guess. Alright, it's $140. The Asus P8Z77V. Now, where's the add to wishlist button? Alright. Now you're gonna want to get RAM, which is under the memory section. If you're just gonna want a basic gaming computer, I would recommend just getting 8 gigs RAM and then upgrading later on. So, where is it? Alright. I mean, I don't really know. I don't really think it matters what kind of RAM you get. So, I'm just gonna pick out the G-Skills Rip Jaws, because this is the brand I have. It works fine. Alright, now what you're going to want to do is look for the CPU. And obviously, since I picked out an Intel motherboard, you're going to want an Intel CPU. Now, this is probably going to be one of the most expensive parts of the computer, depending on which one you get. I have a 3.25 gigahertz AMD processor, but that can run any game perfectly fine, so getting, you know, anything decent. So this is the i7 Ivy Bridge. It's 3.4 gigahertz with a 3.9 gigahertz turbo. This is what I'm going to be using for this build. So far we're at $539. Now we're going to want to look for a video card. This is going to be the other expensive part. I'm only going to be going with a 1 to 2 gigabyte card, depending on prices here. If you obviously have more money, then you can get a bigger card or a bigger CPU. Now, for the sake of this, I'm just gonna get the. We'll see how much the. This is a really good card. Commonly used, the GTX 560. It has DVI, HDMI, you know. So I'm going to be adding this. Now we have our video card, motherboard, CPU, RAM. Now what we're going to want to buy is the, where is it? The DVD burner or drive. I'm just going to buy this cheap Samsung one, $16, but it'll do the job. We're at $791. And to wrap it up, just make sure there's nothing else you want. I mean, if you want to spend over $800, then you're going to have to... Oh, I'm forgetting something, actually. Scratch that. The power supply. Alright, now, depending on your parts, you're going to want a pretty high watt power supply. But personally, I wouldn't get, like, a really cheap one, depending on, like, what brand it's from. Like, if you're gonna get some no-name brand, like, really low watt, just don't do it. But I'd say for the build we have right now, you're gonna want about 750 watts. So I'm just gonna get this one. Boom. $891 to finish off the build. You check if there's anything else you would like. And an SSD if you want to spend more. Now, what you're going to want to do is double check Intel. Now, you're going to want to go to details. Take a look at these and try and check if they match up with the other card. Alright, now. Oop, I meant to bring out the motherboard. Whoops. Now, what you're going to want to do is go to details here. And as you see, it says Intel LGA 1155. LGA 1155 matches up. Everything else seems to be good. And also, it says it takes DDR3, which is the memory. So you're going to want to check the memory and make sure you bought DDR3, which we did. Now, this is the final build, but obviously this isn't containing the monitor, mouse, or keyboard, considering you have those. If you don't, you can add them, and it will make the price a little bit higher. And if you want the price a little bit lower, obviously, you go down a little bit on the parts. I bought pretty expensive motherboard, pretty expensive CPU and graphics card. Obviously, this can be brought down to a 1 gigabyte, which would lower it by about $100. And if you wanted to lower this down to a few gigahertz, like maybe 3 gigahertz, you could bring that down to like 200, 250, and bring this price easily down to $600 to $700. Now that's gonna be the end of this video. I know this isn't usually what I do, but I've had just seen a lot of people like requesting tutorials on how to make gaming computers because people don't know how to do it. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Also, another quick thing: I applied for a partnership today. We'll see what happens with that, so just stay tuned. If this video helped you at all, just please leave a like or comment or subscribe. That would help a lot. Thanks.